think she thought she was going for the door handle and she touched my hand.
Okay. It wasn't deliberate.
No, it wasn't deliberate. She just touched, and it took me about 10 minutes to calm down.
You need to go and see someone about that.
I was because her hand was a little, it was a little moist. I almost died.
This is the podcast that helps women weed through the social media noise and myths to lose weight and keep it off without all the bullshit. Oh, and this is for your ears, not your doctor's orders. Use your head, stay healthy, and crush it.
Yeah, I see you went and bought your a light, and yours is working. It's very annoying.
Oh, mine is working.
Yes.
And I'm sure that's very annoying for you. I'm so sorry mine is working.
It's very depressing. Anyway.
Here's my buddy, Daniel Herman, who has been on the podcast before. And basically, we were just hopping on a call and having a conversation that we would totally have. And we're just sharing it with you guys because we think that we need to shed some light on our pet peeves.
Absolutely. Go on, you go first. What's your I wonder how many. We should have actually made a list first and seen how many were the same if we shared the same things.
Oh, that's true. All right, I'm gonna give you one pet peeve of mine and you'll tell me if I'm exaggerating.
But maybe the listeners, before they listen to this, should write down their ones and tick it off, and then perhaps drop you a message with ones that we've missed.
I'm literally writing this down because we need them to do that. Okay. All right. Yes. Okay.
Make it happen without the sign.
Hashtag make it happen without the neon. Right.
All right. No neons were harmed in the making of this production.
All right. Okay, I'm going to give you my number one pet peeve. So I'm kind of starting from like my big one. Maybe I shouldn't be, but this is what's always on. It's so serious for me.
Go on.
When people don't wipe down their equipment.
Oh, really?
Now, I knew that this wasn't going to be such a big deal for you. Maybe I'm wrong. But like, for me, it's horrible.
Are you one of those people that's got the gloves and the tissue and the spray and you're like going mad?
No, I don't think because I just don't have the time for that. Like but I think if I did have the time, I would be that person.
Yeah. I don't say it is in there. I think it depends. Like if they're like a clean workout person, so they're not schwitzing all over the place and dripping and they're verstinkender, then yes, absolutely. I think it'd probably be in my top 10. I think there's the general rule where it's the average bod who probably isn't like sweating gallons and probably had a shower before that earlier in the week. I'm not such a big problem with it.
Wow. Okay, so yesterday, someone who I didn't know who it was, I was in a coffee shop and I opened the door and she touched my hand and I didn't know who she was.
She steal anything?
What?
Did she steal anything or was it just like a...
No, she just touched my hand. I think she thought she was going for the door handle and she touched my hand.
Okay. It wasn't deliberate.
No, it wasn't deliberate. She just touched, and it took me about 10 minutes to calm down.
You need to go and see someone about that.
I was because her hand was a little, it was a little moist. I almost died.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, it's not as funny as my wife was in the gym yesterday, and there's a guy in there. He's a lovely guy, but he's on the spectrum a bit. So whenever we go in, he always says, you're on my Christmas card list. But that doesn't mean I'm giving you a Christmas card. It just means you're good people. And it's like really cute. And we've got like a nickname for him. So he's got like a big hair. So we call him Flouncer. And we call him Flouncer to his face because his hair like flounces around like that. So she was going, I wasn't there at the time. And so this would just drive you off the fucking edge, I think. So she just done, I think she said it just done shoulders or legs, I can't remember. She's like, oh, my shoulder's killing me. And he came up to her and started massaging her in the gym. And I'm pretty sure his hands were pretty sweaty and clammy as well. And she said she didn't know what to do because she didn't want to offend him.
She's with me.
Yeah. He's
Oh
such
my
a
God.
sweet guy. But she was just like, what the?
Did she stand there because he's a nice person?
Yeah, pretty much. No,
Okay,
she
so
was leaning over. He was on the machine and he was full in.
I would have died. I would have
I probably would
died.
have asked him to do a bit more and done my back. Rather than just
Yeah,
rub
see,
at
I
my
don't even
shoulder.
understand like how this doesn't bother you, but like because it to me, everybody in the gym, if you're lifting heavy, you're a little moist.
Yeah.
All
Everywhere.
Right. I don't want your butt sweat on the bench where I'm about to like do my own bench
Yeah,
press.
but the thing is, how many people's there was something on the British the news has got nothing much going on here in the UK. So there was a big segment about there's more bacteria on the average remote control than there is on the average toilet seat. How many times have you touched somebody else's remote control when you've gone round to their house?
I try to do it very little.
With your nose.
I really I try. I you know what? I should wear gloves.
and then mobile phones. Well, there's another story.
That's really bad.
Should definitely you need to carry disinfectant for your phone.
I do. Oh no, yeah, I do with my hands.
So I guess my number one, I think, is when there's people filming in the gym. And three things. One, they probably haven't. It doesn't look like they've actually done any training. They've just gone in and they're doing this and that's showing their butts and everything else. And I'm just like, why do you need to come to the gym to do that? Assuming they have
wait. I need to understand something. Hold on. They're filming this, but they're not actually pushing weights.
Yeah. They're just coming in to do the pose. So that's a bit annoying because they're kind of in my space. The second thing is they are actually working out, but because they're not getting the right shot, they're doing multiple takes of that one rep in order to get the lighting and the contouring, whatever it is, right. So rather than like getting off, so you can't work in with them. I mean, basically, if they're doing the lat pull down, you've probably got to give them half an hour to get the perfect shot. And then the third thing, and it's less of an issue for me, but I know it is for a lot of people, is I don't want to be on your fucking workout video. I don't want to be on your Instagram feed with me doing whatever I'm doing, pulling my
properly.
Face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With the face and the.
So I've seen a lot of fights kick off in the gym with people who are not respecting other people's privacy and filming, and then the person's gone up and said, can you just delete that video? Because I do not want to be, I'm a private person, respect that. And then they've gone into one, like they've got the right to video what they want and share it. So I think that's probably up there.
I'm going to 100% agree with you.
Does that?
And I'm just pissed off hearing about
it. Does that elapse your number one, or is it still the sweat is still number one for you? Or
you know what? That's a really good question. I think it's
I meant eclipse, not elapse, by the way.
What?
Sorry, I used the wrong word. I meant to say eclipse rather than elapse.
Eclipse. Yes. I like that. I think. Wow, I have to think about that. Can it be a tie?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess
Alright.
it depends on how invasive the video is as well. You might be more put off if they're actually filming you in the gym rather than themselves in the gym.
I would get very upset if they filmed me in the gym getting extremely grossed out by someone's butt sweat on the bench.
So go on, what's your number 2 then?
Wow, but like I just want to say the whole posing thing,
Yeah.
it's annoying in general. Like it's annoying in general, but like hogging for the right lighting. Yeah, how like when you get really like I've seen you get a little pissed off before. And I'm wondering, like, are you like me where like you're really getting pissed off, but you're keeping it together? Or are you just getting like I need to understand your
I think,
rage.
in the gym, I've got to be honest with you, although I go there to exercise, I think the older I've got, the more I'm going there to kind of switch off. So I don't listen to any music. I try not to talk to anybody, not because I particularly am antisocial, although I probably am. I've got a T-shirt saying antisocial social club, which is probably sums me up quite well. But it's my kind of I'm just in my own bubble zone. So I kind of see it and I almost actually laugh in one respect to myself that this is happening, rather than like turning it into a Hulk mode. It's more like comedy.
Right. It's your reality show. You're watching a reality show.
Kind of. It's not quite the Truman Show. It's more the Herman Show.
Right. All right, what's next?
So I reckon actually is, and again, I don't know if this happens where you are, but you now get these kind of groups of what I'd call young adult men. And they're quite aggressive. They're usually not training particularly well, but what they tend to do is train in this little gang, and they're doing like in ridiculous numbers of sets between them, and they're not willing to share at all. And more often than not only are they not willing to share, they get quite aggressive. If you want to share, it's like a pack, like a pack of hyenas turning on a lion. And in addition to which, they're probably doing bloody supersets as well, and something at the other end of the gym. So you see them like in two little groups hovering, let's say, over the bench press and the lat pull down, and they're like guarding it. And if you try and get into their territory, they're like, "Come on, man, let's go."
That was good. I feel like you've had experience doing that.
I've had experience on the other end. And then you then say to them, "No, come on." And then I've had that situation. Then I've gone up to somebody working in the gym. They go, "Oh no, just let them have it." That annoys me. More actually, the video thing I think annoys me more in terms of what it represents. In terms of annoying me, in terms of frustrating my ability to do my workout, I'd say that kind of gym hyenas, as I'm going to now call them, I find
Gym
more
hyenas.
Yeah.
Hogging. I think hogging is definitely on my list as well.
Yeah.
It's okay to share. It's okay to be like, you've got to.
As long as you wipe down and stop filming in between, obviously.
Right. The hogging is a problem, and the fact that they get aggressive is really weird.
Yeah. It's like
that to me doesn't even make sense. Like, if you want your own personal gym, go do that.
Yeah. So I now go to an old person's gym where the average age is about 65.
Nobody hogs?
They're too slow in between getting to set.
You finish your set by the time they've reached.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Very smart. Are you one of the grunters?
What, Driz?
A what?
What's a grunger? I know what grungy is, but...
Grunters.
Oh, grunters. Like, whew. No.
No, I'm okay with
Okay.
I'm not okay with.
Doing a poo in the gym.
I don't know, but I've had clients where I actually feel uncomfortable. And I'm just like, and I want them to feel comfortable. So I'm just like,
well, they're just making like pseudo sex noises whilst they're
oh my
this.
God, I had a client like this and she was about 70 years old.
7 or 70? Please say 70.
70.
Okay, thank God for that. Yeah.
70. And I said it in a British accent so you would understand.
Yeah.
Could you tell that I said it in? Oh.
No, go back to elocution lessons.
She definitely made noises that everybody in the gym could hear. And she's a very strong woman. Like she's a rock star, but I literally was, I don't know how I kept a straight face.
Particularly depending on where you were standing at the time.
Yeah. But so there's her. I mean, that's very rare, but there's also like the dudes who grunt and throw the weights.
Yeah. No, I think what's worse, and I know this really winds a lot of people up, is somebody who's going heavy and it's so heavy they can't control the weight. So they're going like that and they go bang, bang, bang. Or they're doing deadlifts. And
I
like,
hate that.
You feel like you're in an earthquake because they've just got clearly no control over what they're doing. And they're just doing like fucking ego lifting. Or they're just moronic. And it just goes right through you, that sound. Like the plates.
I know.
On the lap board, anything on the cables where you hear that. Oh.
Exactly.
And that is just, it goes right through you.
Yeah. Would you say something to that person?
Yeah, I have done. And again, it's usually met with.
Really?
Yeah. It's like they think that's the way to train.
Wait, but do you say it in a way that makes them want to respond that way?
I think I've just got one of those faces that just annoys people. So
I don't know if that I'm trying to imagine the situation.
So can you stop banging your weights, please?
Yeah. I mean, it's because I would probably say, there's exactly what you said just now. And then I would probably come up and say, hi.
Yeah, but I think, not being sexist, I think as a woman, you can probably get away with things, particularly if it's a man making that noise.
Oh my gosh.
That I can't, it's like, I'm seeing as it like attacking, whereas you're like, oh, isn't she cute? She's offended by my noises. I don't want to upset the pretty lady.
Yes. I feel so much older than that woman you're describing, but yeah.
It's all relative, right?
Exactly. I do have, I know that like our time's pretty much up for chewing people's ear off on pet peeves, but I do want to mention one more, and maybe you want to mention one more.
Go
and
on.
We'll totally do this again. We'll have to. I really have trouble and this is not the highest. But like, I don't like when people are having a full-on conversation, like they're on the elliptical, they're having a phone call.
Yeah.
And I have to listen to it. And I also kind of like, as a trainer, I kind of want to be like, if you're doing the talking test, you're clearly not in your zone. Like you should be working a lot. Yeah, they're talking, they're having a conversation, and it's usually very gossipy and letting them kind of, get through the workout. Yeah.
So I think I don't really do much cardio, so it's not much of a problem. And people don't tend to do that when they're doing weights so much. But there's two quick things. One is And this is actually where you're in a gym and you can see people struggling, and there's lots of fitness instructors or PTs on the floor, and not one of them is going up and helping that person. So we had that the other day. There was a guy, he's got to have been late 70s, and he was doing some crazy stuff, like rowing like this, but he wasn't actually moving his legs. And then he was doing a lat pull down in the most peculiar fashion. I was like looking, and I was waiting for one of the instructors just to go up to him and say, try and do it like that, or whatever. And it never happens. In the end, I went up to him. And I'm always a bit reluctant to do that, because he sometimes people can be quite offended. But luckily, he took it in the way it was meant. And actually, he started doing it as we told him. And he was so grateful. But it annoys me that there's fitness professionals there who should be doing that just out of being fitness professionals. But more importantly, a lot of them are actually trying to generate money by being a PT. And they're missing such a great opportunity to go over and engage with somebody who clearly needs their help and probably can afford it if they're in that kind of older age group where, typically they've got a bit more disposable income than an 18-year-old.
This is I really think this is super important. That would actually bother me on a moral, ethical level. And I would even suggest that personal trainers should totally listen to this episode. Like, this is a 101 lesson for younger personal trainers who are trying to get into it. And don't ignore the person who's struggling in the gym. That's what you're being paid for also.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then I think the other one, and it doesn't happen often, but people who eat in the gym. And I don't know what it is. The smell is like super intensified. Maybe it's all that sweat you were talking about earlier or whatever. But they always tend to have, if they are eating, it tends to be something that probably would stink in any environment. But in the gym environment, it's just elevated, and it just you're like almost retching doing your thing. Maybe that doesn't happen.
Who ate in your gym and what?
Quite a few people have come in. Get some kind of really big guys who are obviously trying to hit their macros for the day, and then you get people maybe they've just missed lunch and they want to get their workout in, and full respect to that, but they're eating like tuna sandwiches and
no, that can't happen.
And that is definitely a turn off.
That cannot happen. I have a problem with tuna. When I was in the military, the girls in my room, they all ate tuna, but they knew that they have to eat it outside of the room.
Yeah.
And now lately, my husband has this new thing where he's bringing tuna into the house and he's making a salad every evening. This is a new thing. This is what he wants to eat for dinner. And I was literally walking my daughter to kindergarten today. I was so upset in the morning when I saw
the remnants.
Right. What was left over from the night. And I'm walking with my daughter who's 5, and I'm having a full-on conversation with her
what the hell?
I don't think I can handle this tuna situation. She has no idea what my deal is.
Mummy crazy. She's going to nursery and go, my mummy a bit funny in the head.
Well, on the tuna note, that really, I think you just topped it all off. The second you said tuna, that was it.
So there you go.
That's the worst.
I've got a few more, but we can save them for another day, I think.
But I really want you to remember them.
Yeah. I'm taking my lion's mane here, and I'm taking my ashwagandha. So hopefully, I'm keeping my cognition up there. So yeah, fingers crossed. I'll try and remember it.
What was that called?
This one's called lion's mane
That is specifically
for cognition.
how cool. And what is it made of?
It's made of mushroom. It's a mushroom. It's a type of mushroom.
And what do you have in your ingredients there?
In this particular one, I will read it out to you. Lion's mane. And basically then this one's a gummy actually. So we've got some stuff in there that makes it a gummy, like natural flavorings and so on.
But it's mostly exactly that.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically the gummy as a delivery, and then the only active ingredient is the mushroom itself, the lion's mane. I'd like to think it's not psychosomatic. There's a lot of good science behind it, but I feel that I'm able to extend that focus.
All right, I'm going to link the lion's mane. People are going to want to know.
Okay, boss.
And we're going to keep talking about pet peeves.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a great Flex Friday.
You too. Did you see anything when I do that?
No.
Now.
Yeah, your mouth moved.
Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. And if this hit home, please share it with your crew. Likes, comments, shares. Show your loved ones you care.
A Bodyholic production.